Many pundits are predicting in 2015 that NomGov chairs are going to truly be on the hot seat. I'm Chris Clark, and this is BoardVision. I'm joined today by Gwin of Heidrick Struggles and Thomas Bakewell of Thomas Bakewell Consulting. Bonnie, given my statement, why do you think that is?
In my opinion, a great board is one of the most important competitive weapons that a CEO, a management team, a company has. And putting that group together, getting the dynamics right, thinking about board succession in a very disciplined and rigorous way over a period of time is really critical. And that's why a NomGov chair is truly on the hot seat. They are the person charged with pulling this together. And today, with outside pressures, including media scrutiny, shareholder scrutiny, a lot of external lenses that are looking into the boardroom, it's really even a more critical, a more difficult role than it has been in past years.
Tom, let me ask you this. I'm sure you agree or mostly agree with Bonnie, but if you don't, let me know, and if you want to add some of your insights, I'd appreciate it.
Well, the outside scrutiny of the processes and structures that take place in a board are indeed being looked at very carefully by shareholders, by activists, by people who are interested in the company. And they want to get a peek under the hood, so to speak. So they're watching the processes very carefully. That's the external processes. The magic, of course, takes place internally when the company finds a way to make the non-gov process really effective for their company.
My numbers may not be perfect, but let's say for Fortune 1000 companies, there are only really 300 or 400 seats available or up for nomination each year. That doesn't necessarily allow for a lot of new, fresh perspectives coming in. So when you're trying to refresh, align, have the skill sets work, pretty darn complicated. I think that also adds to the heat of the situation. Tom, do you agree?
It does, and it adds to the dilemma too. So you have issues like age. Well, we're seeing everybody today is bringing more skills and greater age experiences to the table. A lot of people are extending the age that they want to be on boards, and there's a lot of good reasons for people to stay on boards. At the same time, you have the dilemma, what do we do when we really need a fresh perspective or new ideas or new talent or new, some people call it diversity, I call it opportunity, a diversity or opportunity of thinking. Maybe we need somebody who's a change agent. Maybe we need somebody who is a thought provoker. Maybe we need somebody who is a strategic thinker. How do we blend that together, the entire board, to be a symphony, to be a team that really works together? And you need the raw talent to make that happen. So what's the ideal raw talent that we need for this board, not just to have a great strategy for a company, but a great strategy for the board going forward to get the most out of this team that we have?
You know, it is really interesting. Board refreshment is, and board succession planning is mission critical. And it is a tough conversation because these are people. You develop relationships with them. They are, strong supporters of the company. But the fact is that you really have to look at it, as Tom was saying, long-term, strategically, what are the skills that we have to have around the table? And I think boards are getting more creative in thinking about younger directors and thinking about all kinds of diversity that's not just gender and ethnicity. They're thinking about passport diversity, backgrounds that are diverse, age diversity.
Did you say passport diversity?
Passport diversity.
Thank you. Just wanted to underscore that a little bit.
Yeah, which is really interesting, bringing directors in the U.S. from Asia or Europe and vice versa. And that's certainly happening as well.
If you would like more information and insights about Board Refresh, I encourage you to go to two places, the NACD site or the Heidrick Struggles site. You will find a number of components there, from our Blue Ribbon Commission reports to the reports on governance challenges. I'm Chris Clark, and this is BoardVision.